Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I hope everyone is having a safe and peaceful and cool Monday. Guys, I'm not going to keep you long. You know why I'm here. You've seen the thumbnail that stated the jury is out for deliberations pertaining to Diddy's trial. I know a lot of people are stating, is he going to be guilty? Is he going to be innocent? But before I get into that, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Once you hear what I have to say, drop your comments. Once the verdict comes back, guilty, not guilty, hung jury, whatever, I will do a live. I'll do a live because I want to get some people, I want to get you guys feedback. For me, I think that people's life and lives will be forever changed, regardless if he's guilty or if he's innocent or if there's a hung jury. But this is for fair use content, for entertainment purposes only. It's not funny, but it's for, entertainment. And I just want to say this for me. I didn't cover Diddy's trial because I didn't want to get locked into the minutia of it all. I just wanted to listen to people give their commentary. Because being a DV victim, it did push some buttons on certain things, but a lot of things. It's been over the years. There's been a lot of whispers of, with the Tupac, with the Biggie, with all these different things, and when it's all said and done, all we really got was some Astroglide, some baby oil, and he's a freak. I mean, he's more than a freak. But for me, in a way, I'm glad he didn't leave like Russell and he stayed, because then you would have had to always been looking over your shoulder. But if it's me, if I was Diddy, I don't know if I'm going based off what the law states. When it comes to him as a person, he, you know, he's a horrible human being. But what does that also say about the people that allowed him, not just women, but the people that work for him? We're all in a position where sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do, but what is the cutoff point? When are you going to say, okay, I need money, but I don't need it that bad? From the bodyguards to the shelves to everybody, anybody that really, been around this guy, they in some type of way benefited. But it seems like, and this is my opinion, allegedly, you benefited, but you were going to pay the piper in some way. He didn't just freely give money. So we all have a part, not just the people who hung around him, you know, after the situations happened with Biggie and all that stuff. I've really never looked at Diddy the same anyway for me. Um, but if he is found guilty, I think that it's the universe way of all the things that you've done, Diddy, that you have to answer for. I don't see the case where he's being found guilty of the charges. To me, this case was lackluster. It was a waste of time. Unfortunately, Cassie, you know, she is a DV victim, but for me, what point? Because I can say this, I am a DV victim. So no one can come to me and say, oh, you doing well, miss me with that. Miss me with it. Because I've walked the walk and I've talked the talk. So there was a point where she wasn't, there was a point where she was, there was a point where she wasn't, where she was, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that came out that I don't know if I would have wanted that to come out. I don't know. Yes, you got X amount of $1 million, 20 from him. And, I think you're still going through this case with the hotel. I'm not sure if they've given you the 10 million, but at the same point, My grandfather always told me, and I call him daddy because he raised me. He said, anybody can say what they want to say about you, but your word, your good name, and your character, don't let nobody mess that up. And all I'm saying is that it's a lot of key points where, okay, I know they was on the schmugs because I can't say the word, but they was on the schmugs or whatever. So a lot of the decisions that was made by him, by her, by all of these people, by Jane Doe, by all of them, they were all walking around in inebriated state, if you want to say that, to be, and that's being kindly. So I don't even know how he functioned and did the things that he did, but I do kind of know because you have people that are functioning addicts and their body gets, that's just like if you take antibiotics and your body gets a resistance. So for me, it doesn't matter. I mean, for me, a lot of people are like saying, I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, how would he feel when he gets it got, let's say he gets he's not guilty. I don't really, me personally, yes, his bedroom stuff was put out there, but for me, he already, the tape was already out there before he even got locked up. So for me, the lot of the stuff that I heard that Cassie let have done to her, because I can't just say he did it to her. She allowed some of this stuff to happen to her too. You know, yes, she's a victim, but also at the same point in time, you were able to carry on other relationships. You were able to leave and come back. And I understand what some people are gonna say. Well, she was a victim. You're talking to one. You're talking to one, honey. And everybody's situation is different. And some people stay in it longer, but she had no children. She wanted children from him. And this is allegedly because it comes from one of the bodyguards. So for me, even when she got with her husband who she's with now, she still went back. So for me, I don't think that that was just a situation of DV. I really feel like she loved this guy. So let's just call it what it is. It's not just DV. There were points where DV was there. Is he a horrible person? Yes. Not just to her. Not just to her. This man has brought shame on his family, on his daughters coming out crying. So for me, I know how to compartmentalize the DV, the law, the children, all these different things. You can't just look at it. You can if you want to, it's your opinion. You can look at it in one lens. But if I were personally Diddy, and let's say by the grace of God, he gets off, his life is never going to be the same when it comes to money, when it comes to, and you know what? Who, I can't even say that because this world, today's day and time, you see some crazy stuff happen, and people still, they still ride with people. So, but I feel like if it was me, I wouldn't. If God bless me to get out of this, because we know who you are. We know who you are, but we have not scratched the surface of who Sean Combs is. We think we have, but we have not. That's just the stuff that we're hearing. It's a lot more to him. It's a lot more that has been done that's not coming out. It's a lot more. So, and this is all allegedly, in my opinion. So, if it was me, and by the grace of God, if he does not get out now, they may give him 4 or 5 years, whatever. Whenever he gets out, I would personally move to another country. Not saying you're running because he's not running. He's, I mean, that's something he probably could have done if he wanted to. But I would just move to another country because they're going to be forever coming after his money. They're going to find a way to come after him tax wise. Um, Even though he wasn't the sole proprietor of these companies, he was always in a partnership. So I'm not saying run, but what I'm saying is everybody has to eventually get to a point where they got to say, we know who he is. We are not the jury and we are not God. Even when the jury makes that decision and a judge or whoever, he's still going to have to answer to God when he sees his last day. And a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand when you leave this earth. Some people leave and they sleep, they go peacefully, but some people sometimes go in a way of agony. And I'm not saying people who are going through this from the big C and stuff like that, but I'm saying people who sometimes you see in a lot of agony, not because of the disease, something they have going on, but it's particular people who've done so much bad that it lingers. So for me, it doesn't matter if he's guilty, it doesn't matter if he's innocent, because at the end of the day, life has to move on for everyone. Diddy is going to have to deal with the hand that he has dealt himself. He has dealt to the people that he knew he could control with money. And when you want to be powerful and be in control of people and be in control of things, a lot of times it does just not come back on you. Sometimes it comes back on your family. Like I tell a lot of, and that's why I try to do right, even when if it's something I try to clean it up. Because when you do wrong, it may not come back on you. It could come back on your children. It could come back on your grandchildren. So it does not matter if this man is guilty or innocent. It does not matter because at the end of the day, once the decision is made, if he's guilty, he's going to appeal. And it's going to keep going on and on and on. And then, but my thing is, I feel like he is just the opening. He's the opening act. There are bigger fish, I think, that they're trying to get to. This is my opinion now, just my opinion. But I feel Diddy is the opening act. He's not the biggest fish. So don't be surprised when we hear other headlines come. And I'm not talking about Fat Joe. No, I'm not talking about him. It's bigger than that. So for me, it doesn't matter if he's guilty or innocent because he knows everything that he has done, regardless if he was clairvoyant and able to. You have some people who are alkies and they wake up the next day and remember what they have done. So he knows what he has done and what he has continued to do. So regardless if they give him 10 years, 20, nothing is going to shock me. Guilty, innocent, life, nothing is going to shock me because once this is said and done, the people that are really going to have to pick their life up and really have to move on is that young baby. I think her name is Love. Those three girls, even though those boys or young men were with him and different things, you got to remember he is their father, he's their dad. So how can they say I'm gonna do different when that's all they know? And I'm not blaming the mothers, but I don't even know how the mothers could have said, I'm going to take my kid and go somewhere else because Kim Porter, God rest her soul, lovely woman from what I know. She sent her son, Albie Sure's son, to Georgia to be raised. So she kind of knew. But the thing about it is, I can't personally point my finger at anyone because I've been in situations where I should have left. I've done things. But Diddy has to answer for all of the things that he has done. And a court is not going to be able to make sure he answers for all of that. It does not matter what sentence or sentence he does not receive, because the floodgates are open. And from what I'm saying, if anybody of power and money is listening, Diddy is not the only one, my friend. And this is my opinion. This is my opinion. He's not. Because if you guys look at a little bit, he has not said anything about anybody. And I'm not saying he's a snitch, but at the same time, Diddy wasn't able to move around the way he moved, and he didn't get to where he got on his own. Come on now. Y'all think about it. Think about it. He didn't get to where he's at financially, the power. He did not. You seriously want to tell me this black, and I'm not going to even say a man because he act like a male, this black male who had nothing, yeah, he went to school, but he started grinding. He learned how to maneuver through the system. He learned from somebody. People, not just bodyguards, not the women that he was dealing with, people that who are higher than him, they had to know. They had to know. Had to know. And I call them gatekeepers. You know, when you go to a job and you want to speak to the manager or you want to go talk to the CEO, everybody has a gatekeeper. So that's where I'm at with this. I didn't want to go this long, but I get on my little tyrant. But once the verdict is out, I'm going to put up a live. And I'm probably not going to do it right away because I know everybody's going to try to have lives and do all these things. So I'm going to wait till everything comes down. And I don't know, it could come out tonight. Whenever the verdict comes out, I am going to put a post up and you guys can tell me what time y'all want to do it, and we can do a live, because I really want to do this live because I want to get you guys feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. How do you feel about it? At this point in time, the main thing I want to say is a lot of people are like saying, well, what is he going to do if let's say he's not guilty? He's not going to be embarrassed. Okay, first of all, do you realize there's people out there doing things far worse in the bedroom than what they were doing? That was between them. You got people in neighborhoods and subdivisions that you would never know what they're doing. You have no idea. You can see your neighbor and they look like Betty Crocker or look like they wouldn't hurt a fly. You will be shocked of some of the things I've seen. You'll be shocked some of the people that live in these big, big, nice houses, regular people, but got nice houses, drink like fish, order cases of alcohol for themselves and try to hide it before the husband gets home. But that is all I have to say. I want you guys to hit that like button, put a comment in below. And I am open to anybody's comments. Some people may not like what I said about Cassie, but at the end of the day, yes, she was a victim, but she wasn't a victim the whole time. And everybody has their opinion, and that's my opinion, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change it, because at the end of the day, there's nobody in this world would be able to get me to open my mouth and let them urinate in my mouth. Baby, they're going to have to lay me flat out, shackle me, and knock me out and open my mouth. You hear me? But that's what I had to say at the end. I had to say that because some people are going to try to be a little smart and come at me. Come as you may, but have a great day. Thank you. Peace and soul. Mwah.